What up? What it do? It's your boy DDQ with Vision IB TV. And in tonight's show, I have a long list of videos from a certain supporter that I love, respect, and hold near and dear. Um, I love the guy. I mean, he never disappoints with what he sends me, and he sends me a lot of great stuff that I have been meaning to share with everyone in this community on this channel. Um, and I just because it's a lot of great stuff, or great content, and great videos, and I've had like other stuff scheduled along the way. It's been really difficult for me to like share it with you guys, and hopefully tonight is the night where I actually am able to share most of it, if not all. So that being said, I want to, say a huge or give a huge shout out to every single one of you guys who are already here, those of you who will be here, and those of you who will watch this afterwards. I really do appreciate every single time you guys show up and let me borrow you for a few minutes, a few hours out of your day. I appreciate it because, well, I mean, I'm well aware that we all have things to do, people to tend to, family to tend to, etc. And I never want to waste anyone's time. So whatever time you do spend on here, I hope it does benefit you in some way, shape, or form. And if it doesn't, hopefully you'll share it with someone who might benefit from it. But that being said, a huge shout out to Dead Twist, which of course is the the supporter of the channel that I was talking about earlier. Dead Twist is always sending me amazing videos, amazing content through the DMs, and a huge shout out to him. He supports the channel in more ways than one. So for that, my brother, a huge hug, bear hug to you. Uh, Nothing but love and respect to you. Thank you for everything that you always do for the channel, whether it be like sharing content with me or whatever other way. And of course, William, blessings and love to you as well. Blessings and love to every single one of you guys in advance. That's with William, Emily, and everyone who's going to be here or is already here. That's what says that he's been framed. I don't know about that, sir. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was you in the DMs. But before we get to that amazing, fantabulous, extraordinary, megalithic content that Dead Swiss has provided through DMs, I will grab you by the hands and glide through some current entertainment and music industry news that might just shock you. Potentially. Maybe. We'll see. Um, I don't know what image you're trying to maintain, sir, but I mean, Rod Plumber, Rod the friggin' plumber. What's going on, man? All right, so like I said, I will be holding your hand through some of this amazing, fantabulous content that I'm about to just share with you guys. Um, but yeah, we'll go little by little. I have about three articles that I do want to just breeze through before I get to whoever hacked Dead Twist account, his content. But yeah, so we'll go little by little with the other articles. All right. Which, by the way, that being said, that being said, I hope you guys, if possible, if you can share the stream forward, I will highly appreciate it. It does mean a lot to me when you guys do share the stream forward because it helps the channel out tremendously. So let's start with this. I'm sure some of you have already noticed this within the news media, but if you haven't, we're going to breeze right through it, okay? This article is by Pitchfork.com. It says, Travis Scott's Egyptian Pyramids concert canceled. Rapper promises it will happen eventually. Live Nation had previously released a statement announcing the concert was canceled due to complex production issues. Shortly after Live Nation announced Travis Scott's scheduled performance at the Pyramid of Giza had been canceled in a statement via social media, Scott declared on social media that the shows will still go on at some point. Egypt at the pyramids will happen, but due to demand and detailed logistics, they just need a bit of time to set lay on lands. I will keep you posted on a date, which will be soon. Love you all. Scott also added that he was scheduling 4 more of these type of experiences in different locations. The Giza concert was slated to take place this Friday, July 28th, but Live Nation said it had been called off due to complex production issues, adding that despite the highest efforts, the show could not be constructed in the desert. Find the full announcement below. Scott's Egyptian concert was officially announced earlier this month. However, it was met with backlash from Egypt's musician syndicate not long after. According to a report via Agence France Presse, the syndicate said that it would revoke a permit for the show because it contradicts the identity of Egyptian culture. Interesting. Revoke a permit for the show because it contradicts the identity of Egyptian culture. Interesting. Around the same time, Live Nation shared a statement with Pitchfork that read, "There have been no changes to the Travis Scott show in Egypt. Any reports to the contrary are false. We can't wait to celebrate Utopia with you in Egypt." I'm guessing Utopia is the name of the actual concert or the tour or whatever he's doing. Live Nation did not mention any of the previous backlash in their cancellation announcement. Earlier this week, Scott announced a new movie called Circus Maximus, which hits theaters this week. The film will include new music that will be featured on his upcoming album, Utopia. Okay, that's the name of his album. Okay, that makes sense. Which he tweeted on his Friday. Okay, so before we continue with the other articles, let's see. Well, these are some of the contents. The comments here. Seeing the latest video of Jamie Foxx. Looks so different. Yeah, I have seen that video, and we might potentially share it. We'll see. He does look a lot paler on the face. Could be the lighting. I'm not going to assume anything right away. But yes, his color and complexion look a lot brighter and lighter and duller compared to his usual brown or chocolate, like milk chocolate-ish color that he usually has. Sold his soul for some white skin. Yeah, he is. He's. But see, weight fluctuation. I'm not trying to defend anyone or whatever, but I will say that usually when they're like doing like different roles, or if he was in the hospital for however long he was, he could have lost weight there. So there could be different explanations for his weight loss or weight gain. However, the color on his skin is extremely off, unless it was just really strong lighting. Oh my goodness, could it be? Do my eyes deceive me? It is a beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, lovely Emily Rose in the house. Let's give a round of applause to the lovely, beautiful, gorgeous, amazing Emily Rose in the house. He looks dead in the eyes, aged 50 years. Come on, JDQ, he was cloned or MK I'm not gonna say yes or no. But there's things that a lot of people could easily like explain away, and it would be kind of difficult to redirect someone towards the whole thing being like the MK Ultra thing or what it might be. So for now, I'll just say for now, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that it was the whole hospitalization situation with him. And we'll just have to just wait and see and just observe, you know what I'm saying, how he carries himself moving forward and all that good stuff. But before we go on with the show, a quick reminder, and I will be reminding you guys, the Django misgendered. I'm going to I'm going to be pretty much like announcing this throughout the entire stream. So hopefully, I don't, um, wear you guys down with this update or this announcement. But I need to do it because I need to get the word out, and I need you guys to help me get the word out and share it with your friends and family, your neighbors, and your coworkers, everybody else. Um, so well, that was weird. So, um, one of the reasons why I'm doing a show tonight, aside from hanging out with you guys and doing the chill stream and all that, and covering some of the stuff that's been going on, is also to promote this Friday's event. All right. So let me see how I can say this really fast and really summarized. So I will be making aggressive moves, and dramatic aggressive moves, career wise, and soon. I don't know when. It could be the beginning of next month, the middle of next month, or the end of next month. Um, I will be making the jump with God's help and God willing, doing YouTube full time. Okay. Um, it's not an easy decision. It really isn't. Um, I'm putting a lot on the line, like a lot. Actually, I'm putting everything on the line, essentially. Um, and I do appreciate that, Rod. I really do. Um, but don't congratulate me just yet. But I appreciate the sentiment already. I will be making that jump. It's a very, very delicate decision that I'm making, but I'm making it because as with everything else in my life that has worked out for the better and as a blessing, it has always involved me making very like aggressive moves such as this in order for me to like benefit from it. Um, and one of the things that I am going to implement to help the channel, and help myself make the channel stable is I'm going to start a game show. It's going to be part of the channel. Like the channel is what it is. We do focus, and we will forever focus on exposing the music and entertainment industry, by every means necessary. We'll always do that. But I need to implement certain additional content on the channel so that my channel doesn't get blackballed or like flagged or whatever. But at the same time, still has a strong community and it has strong interaction and all these great things that help support the channel and sustain it, right? So in order for me to do that, I figured I would go on a limb and start a game show and have that as a strong additional content for the channel. The game show will consist of me asking random people, locally around my area and around my town and city, Bible questions, and of course, give them cash prizes for those contestants who, do get the questions correct. And I will be doing the same thing here, like on YouTube and TikTok. That's going to be the thing that I hope really helps sustain the channels, and the accounts as far as like longevity goes, as far as like making sure that the channel grows as a community because of that type of content. But then on the other side, reels them in for the more important content altogether. Um, so what I need help in is hopefully you guys can help me share that content forward. So the first official game show episode, I guess you could call it, will happen this Friday night, around 8 or 8:30 p.m. And it's gonna be on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. And then eventually, I will be doing the same thing out in the open. You know, you're gonna see me around my area, asking random college kids because there's a college nearby where I live. So I'm going to be on the street. If any of you have seen Billy on the Street, it's something extremely similar. The only difference is I'm going to be asking people Bible questions while offering cash prizes depending on the difficulty of the questions. The questions will be labeled if they're easy, medium, or hard. The cash prizes will be anywhere between $1, $5, and $10, etc. Um, so I guess all I need is you guys to help me like promote that content. That way, I can get the channel up and running as far as like that content goes. Brian 18 had climate hard tech. We're gonna keep in prayer. Good things happen to good people. Yeah, all the backs. Silly guy, I forget his name, but famous fan. Yep, attacking something. LeBron to James. You find new job, so he said. College kids will, yeah, yeah. All right, so yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to like catch you guys up on. I know some of you already know because you were here last time, but for anyone who wasn't here last time, that's one of the things to look out for. Again, this Friday, around 8 or 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, will be the first official game show episode here on the channel and on TikTok. Um, Also, guys, if you're not following me on TikTok, please do so ASAP. I'll appreciate it. I know some of you don't care for it or don't want it or just don't have it on your phone. Um, think of it as just kind of like a set it and forget it type of deal. You know what I mean? It just helps the account over there also flourish and grow, and that way I can get more of the content out there, etc. But anyways, that being said, the reason why I brought this article by of Travis Scott up to begin with is because if you guys have noticed, um, when his career blew up and like took off, um, and he started the whole like, Astroworld concert and all that. Um, every I feel like every tour or every concert that he does or any type of like long running activity, whether it be like concerts or whatever it is, it always has to do with something. What do you call it? Like not mystical. New age. They have it's like somehow connected with like some type of like new age crap. The pyramids, ancient Egypt, and mysticism and all that stuff still are tied into New Age. Um, the big mouth demon looking thing that he has at the Astral World, that's connected to the New Age. Uh, it's a lot. It's a lot that's connected to it, and it's just as someone that I have grown to love and respect on YouTube, repetition. You know what I mean? Behind a lot of these guys is key. Um, this joke who wants to be here join he quits on his team. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that was the case. That twist. But yeah, no, that's the reason why I wanted to share this because I mean he's having a concert in Egypt, at the pyramids. It doesn't get more mystical and new age than that. I promise you. But people have to realize that you can't really baby people too often. Um, Also, something that I also found over here. Okay, so this is by WMFE.org. The article's titled, or the headline is titled, Seminole aims for transparency amid toxic chemical and water findings. Seminole County, that's over here in Florida. Officials are taking steps to be transparent as it tests the county's water supply of a toxic chemical. You know, this has been going on in different states. One of them being New York. Um, you know, the whole spill that there was some time ago at another state. I feel like something similar happened like around the different states, and it's it's been something inescapable. You know, a lot of these like counties and different cities and towns or whatever around the states, they keep finding toxic levels to the water supply, and it's slowly coming up state by state and city by city, little by little, and it's growing, concerning. This is one of the many reasons why I believe that all of us should at some point learn how to like self purify our water supply through like rocks and minerals and all that stuff. Um, yeah, making new Beetlejuice as we speak. Channels. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Music industry is dead to me like movies. I see them now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta see them for what they are, man. But yeah, just be careful with the water that you drink. Even if you buy like bottled water, if you're able to and if you can purify it naturally, great. You know what I mean? And just look out for that. The move comes after an investigative series by the Orlando Sentinel published earlier this month revealed the presence of 1,4-dioxin, a so-called forever chemical in residential drinking water. Seminole County leaders discussed the plans at a meeting Tuesday, which includes taking steps to ensure residents' water is safe from the dangers of the synthetic industrial chemical. It's believed to have seeped into water systems from a former Siemens manufacturing plant. Interesting. I don't know if that, yeah, it has to be something else. It has also been documented that it was mishandled and caused impacts to employees, to the ground and groundwater, said Kim Ornberg, Seminole's director of environmental services during Tuesday's meeting. Ah, God, help us all. Dioxin was first identified in three county water treatment plants during a 2013 Environmental Protection Agency mandated sampling, along with other unregulated chemicals. The results of the 2013 and 2014 sampling were published in the 2015 Annual Water Quality Report as regulated and required by the state and federal agencies. However, Seminole residents were largely unaware of the chemical, of course, which has been listed by the EPA as a likely carcinogen. Things that lead to cancer, like smoking, carcinogen. Nothing to worry about. The Sentinel said in its report it was unable to find anyone who knew of the 1,4-dioxin's presence. And this whole article continues just to basically state how it's been affecting the water, but they pretty much didn't tell anyone or didn't make the residents aware until like way, way later. So there's that. Um, oh, TC's in the house. What's going on, man? Yeah. What's going on, brother? Blessings. Yes. Blessings, love to you. Um, Terrence. What's going on, brother? The almighty hood is a joke. You know what's crazy? Look, so where where is it? Yeah. So this statement right here by Emily. Water is contaminated. Shocker. You know, that's something that conspiracy theorists have been saying for years now. Everyone can, yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, you're crazy. Yeah, whatever. Now what? And mind you, this is around the time that a lot of the conspiracy theorists were saying that the water was being contaminated. And now it's like out in the open, and now what will people say of these conspiracy theorists? You know? But anyways, what do they know, right? My tap water made me wheat patty, not well sick every day, so buy them. I'm like way behind on the SDS and search. Man, I hate the fact that I can't really check anything through StreamYard here. It sucks. Ingestion do not induce vomiting. Call physician or poison control center immediately. What do we know? Nah, keep getting tongue tied for like no reason. All right, so next article that I want to share with you guys before I get into the nice nitty gritty, fantastic content that someone impersonating that's what sent me through the DMs. We have here by, of course, none other than hiphopdx.com. And the headline reads, Fake Kanye West spotted running around Hollywood trying to get in clubs with an entourage. Kanye West has an imposter running around Hollywood trying to trick people by allegedly using Ye's clout to his advantage. According to DJ Artistic, who took to Twitter on Wednesday to share news of the incident, the fake Ye pulled up to one of his events with an entourage and even asked him to spin some Kanye West music. Yo, there's been a fake Kanye running around Hollywood, Artistic wrote, sharing a photo of the alleged culprit. He came to an event I did yesterday and brought an entourage who told the doorman he was Kanye. He even came up and asked me to play his music. Wow. Dude really does look like Kanye. Interesting. Let's kind of see if we can blow up that picture a little bigger. We can get a better look at it. That looks more like Kanye than the Kanye that we have now. I mean, look at the face and everything. It looks like the Kanye that we all like know and love, versus the one that's been out recently with like a lighter like complexion and bigger jaw, and it's weird, yo. But let's see real quick the mannerisms. Here, let's try.
Wait. Is that Kanye from Wish?
Oh my goodness. Let's see some of the comments here. It's been full of chemicals turns. The friggin' frog's gay. Environmental precautions should not be released into the environment. See sections 12 for additional ecological information. Santa's meat in UK here has been cloned since 2010. That far back, 80% of UK meat is lab meat. That's crazy. UK people don't even know it's been allowed since 2010. That, I need to save that. If anybody can screenshot that comment by William, that'd be great. Because I want to use that for another video coming at some point. Locke or some other loser to go live. Their opinions mean so much to me. Hopefully, Capital. Thanks. No, wait. Stability may form explosive parasites. Conditions to avoid incompatible products: heat, flames, and sparks. Exposure to air or moisture over prolonged periods. Keep away from open flames. Hot service. Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Dang. Yeah, that is true. By the way, those of you sharing additional information in the live chat, I highly appreciate it. So even if I don't read it right away or respond to it right away, by all means, share whatever information you guys have at hand. It might help anyone else who might read the live chat afterwards. So, okay, so that was, fake Kanye, who actually looks like real Kanye, or looks more original, more real, more like real Kanye than the Kanye that we have right now. I just thought it was interesting. And now for the nitty gritty. I have a list of videos that I don't know if we'll be able to like get to, as far as like getting to all of them, but I still want to try to share it with you guys if I'm able to. And of course, there's an ad. Okay, let's see how long the video actually is. It's not too bad. I guess we could give it a shot. Which, by the way, I don't even know why I haven't subscribed to this person yet. But yeah, there is a channel called The Truth Is, which is the video that I'm going to share with you guys right now. That's from that channel. The person impersonating Dead Twist has been sharing a lot of content from their channel, which I think is great. Unmod music, masking practice. That seems to be cleaning out a little bit of our trash matter. Yeah. Here, let's
Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be exposing the truth about Hollywood humiliation rituals. I had put up a poll on my community wall and on Instagram to see which video you guys wanted to see first between this video and the Project Bluebeam video. You guys voted for this video first, but don't worry. Project Bluebeam will be dropping sometime next week for those that are waiting for it. Now, let's get right into it. Ever since I started researching the Freemasons' involvement in the entertainment industry, I have heard of many claims of celebrities being put through humiliation rituals. When I first discovered the term, I spent some time looking into it, trying to determine if there was any truth to it. Since I didn't find anything credible, I started to believe humiliation rituals weren't a thing. I thought it was just something made up by the internet to explain strange things celebrities did. Like I mentioned a few videos back in the Hollywood White Party video, I have recently started changing my mind on the idea. See, I have been doing research into fraternities and their rituals, finding a link between them and Freemasonry. What people don't know is that fraternities were actually created and modeled after Freemasonry, with many of them being created by actual high-degree Masons, like the fraternity Omega Psi Phi, which was created by the Prince Hall Freemason Frank Coleman. Many famous celebrities have been a part of this fraternity, like Bill Cosby and Michael Jordan. Omega Psi Phi is a perfect example of the Freemasons' influence when it comes to fraternities. Some of their rituals and practices comes directly from Masonry. One thing fraternities are known for doing is putting new members through a hazing ritual. I don't know why I didn't look into this before. A hazing ritual is a humiliation ritual. The purpose of a hazing ritual is to humiliate the person being initiated, to put the new member through the same embarrassing moment other members had to go through, creating a bond, and also providing something that can be held over the new member's head. Since I know the Masons inspired and basically created most fraternities, I wondered, do the Masons have a hazing ritual themselves? I started searching to see if I can find instances of hazing ever being done in Masonic lodges. After doing some searching, I discovered the answer to this was actually yes. Masonic lodges do perform some sort of hazing ritual. While researching, I came across a website for the Sacramento Scottish Rite Lodge, where an article that was written by one of the members confesses to hazing rituals being a part of Masonry. In the article, he wrote, I attended a Masonic conference where the use of what some Masonic presenters deem hazing was illustrated from European rituals and from the Masonic rituals of old manuscripts. There was a question as to what was the reason for having activities resembling hazing in Masonic ritual, and why were they so prevalent in the past and still more popular outside of the USA. These Masonic presenters, who are the top Masonic scholars in American Masonry, seem themselves puzzled over the inclusion of the hazing element of the ritual. In this article, Open as Day, a Mason confessed that hazing rituals or humiliation rituals are a real thing. More importantly, he admits it still takes place in lodges and it comes directly from the old manuscript of Masonry, meaning hazing humiliation rituals have been a part of Masonry for a long time. Now, for those that commented that humiliation rituals were real, you guys can comment "I told you so" below, because you were indeed correct, and I can humbly admit I missed this information when looking into it. I kept looking for Masonic humiliation rituals and nothing was coming up. All I had to do was swap out the word humiliation with the word hazing, and I started to see results. The Mason, just like many fraternities, perform humiliation rituals in secrecy. The Skull and Bones are one of those fraternities made by Freemasons that adopt Masonic rituals, one being the hazing initiation ritual. The Skull and Bones, just like Omega Psi Phi, was created by a Freemason by the name of Alfonso Taft, the father of President William Howard Taft. The Skull and Bones put their members through all types of humiliation rituals as they climb up in degrees. While looking into the Masonic hazing ritual, I found an instance when things went too far during the ritual, and the ritual led to dire consequences. According to this New York Times report, back on March 10, 2004, in the upstate New York Lodge number 493, a humiliation ritual went terribly wrong. A member was being initiated to a secret Masonic club called the Fellow Craft Club. The humiliation ritual consisted of a higher degree Mason scaring a new member by using a prop weapon that shot blanks. The member would then realize it was a prop, but only after he was humiliated in front of the entire lodge. In this instance, the member that was joining was instructed to sit on a chair, while a higher degree Mason stood 20 feet away from him, aiming a prop at the man that is supposed to be loaded with blanks. Strangely, for whatever reason during the ritual, the older Mason wasn't holding a prop, but a real piece with real ammo. The older Mason then aimed at the guy on the chair and let go at him, and he was taken out on the spot. Unsurprisingly, Albert Ed, who was in charge of the ritual, didn't face any charges after Suffolk County Police declared the whole situation an accident. I think there's way more to this story, and I feel we should do a whole deep dive into this incident alone, as it left me with many questions. If you guys want to see that, comment expose humiliation rituals below. If I see enough of you comment this, then I'll make sure to get it done as soon as possible. This incident alone is more proof that the Freemasons have and are still doing hazing humiliation rituals. One thing that we have identified on this channel is that the Freemasons own Hollywood and the music industry. We can spot countless evidence proving the Masons are in control of the entertainment industry. We know the industry operates off Masonic ideologies, and these celebrities took the Masonic oath. So now, when we look at some instances that clearly appear to be humiliation rituals in Hollywood, we can understand why they happen. These celebrities are either being initiated or climbing in degrees, so they have to participate in hazing humiliation rituals. We're going to take a look at a few instances of humiliation rituals in the industry. Humiliation rituals have been going on in Hollywood since the very beginning. Some of these instances you guys should remember, like the first instance we're going to be talking.
Before I continue with the stream, for those of you here in the live chat, please make sure, I know it's going to sound like a little annoying, I rarely ever do this, but please make sure you have already hit the like button on the stream. All right, just to make sure. It only helps with, like, you know, this being sent out to new people that might not be subscribed to the channel. It might reach them, that they might, you know, come across this great information that, while it is from another channel, there's other information that, whether it be like commentary by myself or additional information from you guys in the live chat, you know, it just all builds up. And liking the stream will just push the stream forward to, like, newer people, you know, potential new subscribers, potential new members of the community, etc. So if you can make sure that you hit the like button on the stream, I would highly appreciate it. Thank you.
About the Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson halftime performance. Back in 2004, Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson were performing during the halftime show live for an audience of over 140 million people. During the performance, the world was shown a bit more than expected when Justin, out of nowhere, pulled off parts of Janet's top, and the world got a peek at her chest. Hollywood was calling this instance a wardrobe malfunction, while the world couldn't believe this happened on live TV. Since the moment it happened, people felt this entire thing was just a stunt, orchestrated by the two for attention. But to those that study the occult, they felt that this was a humiliation ritual. I have done a video on Justin Timberlake showing that he is a Masonic puppet, and
you know, recently, if I'm not mistaken, I shared something on here maybe like a few days ago or whatever, where Drake was attempting to like paint his nails pink, right? And he explained that he was doing it because he thought it would help him in his career. Now, there's a lot of things to take away from that moment, but I will say that whether it was like a planned, I don't want to say psyop, but like a quote unquote like hoax event from his part, um, it still reveals a truth behind the industry. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, he said what he said, and he might have said it with like a certain tone because he knows there's a lot of people out there who mock this whole theory, right? Of like this whole situation being a thing of like the rituals that they do and all that. But we all know that he knows, yeah, that it's way too obvious and way too like real to like ignore. Bad Bunny, he's got to be the face in the forefront, along with like Lil Uzi Vert and along with who's the other guy, Lil Nas X, that have been pushing and pushing this whole like, I don't know, man. Like I don't even know what to call it, what to name it, but this pansexual type movement, or like binary movement or whatever. Pretty much like wearing what they want and cross dressing and this and that and painting the nails and all this other stuff. And I don't know. It's, as they say, repetition is the key. And if this is something that has been pushed on the masses and has been being pumped out through the mainstream media, the secular mainstream media, for like younger crowds, like teenagers, preteens, and young adults to consume and to imitate. And then you have someone like Drake, who's like quote unquote like the Jordan of his generation. Um, he's someone who a lot of people like look up to still and respect and still honor and still, keep relevant to them and all that. Even with the newer generations, and he's doing what he's doing, it just, you won't see it if you don't want to see it. What's going on here? But for those of you who have eyes to see and have discernment, you will see what's going on. Yeah, money is the word. Right. I wouldn't say money. I would say the love or lust of money is the evil of the world. Just look at all the horrible YouTube people that just humiliate and hurt other people for what they call funny. Yeah. Yep. But anyways, let's continue with the video.
I also found evidence proving that Janet took the same Masonic oath as well. I believe the situation wasn't at all an outfit malfunction, but a hazing humiliation ritual done for the world to see. Both Justin and Janet's career went on to the next level after the situation happened. The world shamed and mocked Janet, but it was all a part of this ritual. Another instance around this time that people refer to as a humiliation ritual is the whole Britney Spears breakdown. Many people think that Britney shaving her head was a humiliation ritual, but in reality, her breakdown is definitely connected to MK Ultra, as Britney has basically exposed this herself by saying she was kept on medications to control her. In my opinion, I don't think Britney shaving her head was connected to a humiliation ritual. Another popular Hollywood moment that was a humiliation ritual was the Kanye West and Taylor Swift incident. Back in
1991 Upper Deck.
2009, during the VMA Awards, the world was shocked when Kanye West walked up on stage while Taylor Swift was giving her acceptance speech after winning the Best Video award. Kanye ripped the mic out of Taylor's hand and proceeded to tell her how her award should have gone to Beyonce, as she had one of the best videos of all time. This instance just like the Janet and Justin situation shocked the world, as Taylor was humiliated in front of the masses. This was a humiliation ritual.
Y'all notice how like these like humiliation rituals happen like on like the biggest nights, like the Grammys, the Oscars, any like type of like award show is where something like this happens. Think about the Chris Rock and Will Smith moment. Wasn't that like the Oscars or whatever? Like it's always these like huge events. Even I think even in Miss Universe, it's something like that has happened like once or twice, which I wouldn't really include in this, but still, it only happens in these like ridiculous large crowd, large focus, largely viewed events. It's insane. Something's like similar happened like years ago with Eminem and someone else on stage. It's just, again, repetition is key. People will think, oh, it's just entertainment. Oh, it's just something that spontaneously, randomly happened. No, I'm sorry, but no. One time, maybe I might agree. It's like, all right, maybe that was, coincidence. But almost every show, guys, like almost every show,
as Taylor's career only continued to climb from there on, eventually reaching the tippity top of the music industry. Taylor was being initiated in front of the world as she had taken the oath and she was chosen. Just like Janet and Justin, Taylor and Kanye are both occultists who took the Masonic oath. These humiliation rituals are all over Hollywood. The artist Freddie P actually came out and admitted that he was forced to do humiliation rituals while he was on Diddy's Making the Band. In this interview on Doggy Diamonds TV, Freddie P admits Diddy was making him do humiliation rituals. See, while Freddie P was on Making the Band, Diddy made him do embarrassing things to make the cut. Freddie P, not feeling the humiliation rituals, left the show and lost his shot in the industry.
The cheesecake thing, looking back, what you think about that?
I mean, me, I would never do it to him. I would have never did it to them kids. I mean, us, you get what I'm saying? That's just my character, though. But, I mean, you got to look at who you dealing with. You feel what I'm saying, man? It's cold sucker. You feel me? Like, you making people walk for cheesecake, wash cars, walk around Brooklyn at 6 in the morning, screaming Biggie verses loud. It's a lot of you remember.
Oh, it was stuff that we know.
That's what brings something really important up. So he says, the symbolism sold me on you and God, DDQ, because it's everywhere. Now, signs and symbols have always and forever like ruled the world. Now, when I say that, or when I bring that quote up, I want to make sure that we're very clear. All right. Signs and symbols only serve as a label when the individual or the group of people who represent that symbol are actually carrying out the mindset and the train of thought, if that makes sense, of that symbol or sign. So for example, like anyone can tattoo a cross on the shoulder or chest or whatever, and that doesn't necessarily mean that person is a Christian. You know what I mean? Anybody could tattoo a fish on their chest or shoulder, and that symbol is mostly attributed to the gospel or like preaching the gospel. That doesn't necessarily mean that person is a preacher or someone who believes in the gospel. Now, when you have someone that wears or represents that symbol a lot, and they're also carrying forward the thoughts, the opinions, the actions of what that symbol and sign represents, then that's when you can say, like, by their fruits you will know them, right? So, like, for example, it's so easy to point out, but people just refuse to like accept it. A lot of these mainstream / like secular artists, like that rapper that I brought up in a short video some time ago, where it has like the 3 9s, which is really just the 666 on his album cover and on his like album artwork and all that. He's a rapper and singer that promotes like getting high, you know, all these like dark, thematic like titles and songs and very like depressing type music or whatever, very sad music. You know, these are all things that are dark in nature. You know what I mean? And sure, some people might say, "Oh, but he's, you know, like a hopeful person, and you know this and that." And maybe he has a few songs up his sleeve that are like, you know, optimistic or hopeful or whatever. But for the most part, when you have someone like pushing forward, like smoking and getting high and weed and doing drugs and drinking and intoxicating yourself and, you know, being promiscuous and this and that consistently throughout their entire work, and then the signs and symbols just happen to match up with what he is producing and setting forward to the masses. Like, again, if you don't see it, it's because you don't want to see it. If you don't see the agenda behind what's being like pumped out through that individual, through that artist or whatever, you're being blind because you want to be, because you want to treat it as just entertainment, when it's always way more than that, guys. It is always way more and way beyond than just entertainment. I promise you. And I don't know if like it's me saying this or if whatever it is. I'm not saying what it is. I'm not saying it's God saying this through me, but heed my words. Anytime you hear or see a mainstream / secular artist doing what they do and pumping out the music that they pump out, I promise you, I would bet my entire account, okay, which is not a lot. Who knows? It might even be on negative right now, but I would arguably bet my entire account that it is not, I repeat, it is not just for entertainment purposes. There's always a goal. There's always a mission. There's always, you guys got to remember, a lot of these artists, if not all of them, are part of, they're in the spiritual warfare. Like, it's funny. They'll clown Christianity and faith and all that because they know what it is. They know the truth behind it. And they want to mock and they want to put down those of us who do believe in it, because they're aware that the real battle is won in the spirit world, like in the spirit realm. So they're attacking everyone through the spirit realm, through their music, through their lyrics, through the content that they're pumping out, and then like sit back and laugh because people think that it's just entertainment. While on their end, they're laughing their heads off, like, because they know that they keep capturing these souls through their music, through their lyrics, through these agendas that are being subconsciously planted in their heads and in their minds. And it's just like a cycle. Like, it's crazy. I'm reading some of the comments. I'm sorry, guys. Sound of him was good, but not even close to the real story. Yeah. Agreed. Loves the women. It's nice to see women's doing as good as it is. Who cares about people that ask me about the Bible? Yeah, noted. But anyways, my bad. That was my little rant.
Never saw y'all was doing.
Yeah, man. Like, people don't understand. People come back and talk to me. I'm like, bro, don't ever talk to me about no edited show. Oh, I watched you. You wanted to go home. Bro, if you ever seen something on the show or something you didn't see, you know what I'm saying?
So now knowing, you know that was a humiliation ritual, right?
Huh?
You know that was a humiliation ritual, right?
Yeah. No, I'm older.
Yeah, that's
As you heard for yourself, Freddie P states that Diddy had him doing a bunch of humiliating things. And when Doggy Diamonds asked him if he knew that these were humiliation rituals, Freddie P responded with a yes. Another artist put through a humiliation ritual was A$AP Rocky in 2011 when he showed up to 1 and 6 in Park wearing a dress. A$AP was mocked for this, but he was initiated into the next level, and his album would go on to solidify him after this. Now, A$AP Rocky has secured a spot in the industry and is now together with his billionaire baby mother, Rihanna. It is no
Yeah, man,
surprise
buddy.
that A$AP Rocky openly shows he is an occultist. Rocky took the Masonic oath and then he was put through a public humiliation ritual for the world to see. Wearing this dress was Rocky's public humiliation, and he did it with no issues to make it to the next level. Just like we saw with the rapper Young Thug. Young Thug, just like A$AP, went through the same humiliation ritual when he was made to wear a dress for an album cover. After Thug wore the dress a few times, he never did so again, but his career would eventually make it to the next level. Just like the rest of these artists we're talking about, we have proven Young Thug took the Masonic oath, as he has admitted to being a Mason out of his own mouth. The next artist put through a humiliation ritual we're going to be talking about was Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi, after having a successful music career, seemed to have disappeared in the 2010s. In 2015, it looked like Kid Cudi's career was over, but he somehow made a comeback. By the start of the 2020s, Kid Cudi was back in the headlines after being forgotten for years. Kid Cudi, just like Young Thug and A$AP Rocky, would be put through a humiliation ritual in 2021 when he showed up to SNL wearing a dress. Ever since this, Kid Cudi has been back in the mainstream and has managed to successfully transition to acting, being a part of the new House Party movie recently released. Just like Thug and Rocky, Kid Cudi took the same Masonic oath. Another celebrity that was going to be put through humiliation ritual was Dave Chappelle. Back in the 2000s, when Dave Chappelle was on top of the industry, out of nowhere, he did
The industry's leading collection of essential DVD creator tools. It's an all-in-one toolkit at your fingertips.
he disappeared. Years back, he would resurface doing an interview with Oprah, where he told Oprah they were trying to put him through a humiliation ritual. Dave Chappelle talks about how they were trying to make him wear a dress and do other compromising things that he didn't approve of. Because of this, Dave Chappelle abandoned.
So yeah, I get the point. Let's see if I can. Okay. This is another good one. Sorry about that, guys. My apologies.
We have all heard the saying, he sold his soul to the devil. Many people believe that some celebrities, the truth is,
Oh my goodness, y'all. It's taking forever. I hate when that happens. Oh, come on. I hate when like the page or whatever just happens to be like malfunctioning as I'm trying to share it.
the truth is, we have all heard the saying, he sold his soul to the devil. Many people believe that some celebrities have made a pact with the devil to receive fame and fortune. Could this be true? Could the world really be rigged and the only way to the top be through the devil? The answer to this is darker than you would want it to be. Join me in this episode
Come
as we
on.
uncover the dark truth
What's wrong with this
about
man,
selling
yo?
your soul. To understand the actual act of selling your soul, you need to understand what selling your soul means. As the general conception that people have about selling your soul is that the devil springs up at your doorstep and offers you to sell over your soul, you signed in blood, and now you're rich and famous. This isn't entirely true, but the devil does play a large part in all of this. See, the act of selling your soul is much more complex than it seems. There are many ways to sell your soul to the devil, not just by Satan worship. Don't get me wrong, there are people that have sold their souls in ritualistic ways and dedicated their lives to Lucifer, such as the story of the first artist to sell his soul, Robert Johnson. But most people that sell their soul don't even know they have done it. In order to understand my point, we have to understand the motive for selling your soul. When most people sell their souls, they either want more money, fame, or power. They want to be respected and admired, and have fans. What they seem not to know is that Lucifer wanted the same thing in heaven. Lucifer wanted to be a god and no longer wanted to worship God. This very thing is what fame is. Fame is the pursuit of self-worship. People that want fame want people to admire them and look at them as higher than others. The pursuit of this usually comes at a dark cost. Some people are willing to lie, steal, even murder over money, fame, and power. If a person has changed their morals and beliefs over money, power, or fame, they have sold their soul. If a person becomes successful and changes while they are at the top, they have sold their soul. Hence why people call those type of people sellouts. If you know in the back of your mind what you need to do to gain what you want is wrong, but you tell yourself you don't care because what you will gain is more valuable to you than your morals, you have sold your soul. The devil has tricked millions of people into selling out in this manner. Using rap music and thug culture, Lucifer has been able to manipulate millions into self-damnation. When hip-hop first started, it wasn't about being tough or having money and fame, it was about expression. The music that was being played in mainstream at the time wasn't completely relating to the youth in urban cities of the Bronx. So they decided to create their own sound, their own way to express their own selves. The devil only saw this as an opportunity to get to more souls. Quickly after its formation, hip-hop was converted into a cash grab, where Satan will hand out cash to artists who are willing to destroy the souls of their own people for financial gain. We all know that once an artist signs a deal, they essentially belong to a record label. They must now push an image, even if they don't agree with it, promote products, even if they don't like them, and consistently.
All right. Before we continue with that, let me just share this with you guys real quick. So, one thing a lot of people hate to have to admit is that while God, and I have to say this very clear and very paused, let me say this just to be crystal clear and so everyone understands. God ultimately has the last word always. God will always have the last word, no matter what. God is the ultimate authority of all things in life. All right. Now that we understand this, you guys also have to understand that God allowed and gave Satan certain dominion over the world. So while God is the king of everything, king of kings, master of the universe, master of everything, right? He has the last word. He has allowed and given Satan certain control and dominion over the world. When I say world, I mean the governments of the world. I mean like the principalities of the world, etc., etc., etc. Having said that, let's read this verse or this passage so y'all can get like an idea of why Satan or the devil is able to give people who choose to follow him wholeheartedly and pledge allegiance to him fame, fortune, and all this other stuff. Let's see why. So this is Matthew chapter 4, verses 1 through 11. All right. And it says, Satan tempts Jesus. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, afterward he was hungry. Now when the tempter came to him, he said, if you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. Now, Satan already knew that Jesus could do that if he really wanted to. And of course, Jesus claps back with the word of God. Jesus answered, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Then the devil took him up into the holy city, set him up on pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, if you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge over you, and in their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And of course, Jesus, knowing where he was coming from, he claps back with more word of God. Jesus said to him, it is written, again, you shall not tempt the Lord your God. Again, the devil took him up on an exceedingly high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, all these things I will give you if you will fall down and worship me. Now, this is the key right here. This verse is the key for you to understand, just how much power and authority the devil actually has on earth. If he did not have dominion and authority over the earth and over the kingdoms of the earth, like he's saying, he would not be able to even say these words. Like, he would not be able to verbalize this idea. But he's able to say it because, again, God, while still king of the universe, king of everything, and ultimately has the last word over everything, still has granted the devil dominion to a certain extent on earth, within the kingdoms, within the governments, etc. So that's why the devil's able to tempt God with this, because he has it in his possession. The kingdoms of the world worship the devil. The nations, worship the devil. The governments of the world worship the devil. So if that weren't the case, he would not be able to offer that to Jesus. Obviously, Jesus said to him, away with you, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only shall serve. Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. Now notice that all Jesus said was, it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God, and him only you shall serve. He didn't say, oh, you can't offer me the kingdoms because they're mine. Oh, you can't offer me the governments of the world because they're mine. He didn't say any of that. So again, it's more confirmation that the devil does have certain authority over the land, over the governments, over the kingdoms, over the earth. So, yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't like to hear because it sounds wrong and it sounds off, but it is the reality. But this is why I keep highlighting that ultimately God has the final word. God has the last say in everything. The devil still has to ask God for permission to do things the same way he had to ask God for permission to tempt Job. So Satan still has to ask God before he does anything. You see what I'm saying? He still has to ask God for permission before he even tries to do anything. Which is also the same reason why God doesn't allow anything to happen without warning to his people. Whether or not the people are able to discern what God is warning them about, that's a different story. That's what says. So we're doomed to live on a planet ruled, on a plane, sir, on a plane, but ruled by our enemies, devoted to our destruction. I mean, I feel it, but is it a fight? It is, yeah. So the only thing that can help any of us get through any of this is our devotion and our allegiance to God and Jesus Christ. That's it. I'll have every blessed person get there. Yeah, man. Send me a postcard. It's sad to think about sometimes, but think about it. And I want Dead Twist and everyone else watching this right now to really think about it. Why do you think that in every age, in every centuries, whatever, however you want to call it, in every age of time, there's been a strong string of some type of either satanic or Freemason or Illuminati type tie-in between the ages. The founding fathers of this country were all Freemasons. Every single one of them. And you can't serve two gods. You're either with God or you're either with Satan. being a Freemason of the 33rd degree or higher, you are of Satan. So the country, United States and this North America and all that, like it has this masquerade of being a Christian nation, but in reality, it's all just a facade. It's a facade that just, it works for them because then everyone could blame Christianity for anything wrong that happened along the way. And that's what has happened throughout the ages. That's what has happened throughout time, is people continuously like point towards like Christianity and faith and the gospel because, our founding fathers were this and that. And no, they weren't. They weren't. Again, you cannot serve two masters. If you're a Freemason and you're part of that fraternity, you are of the devil. You are not a Christian. You are not a faith believer. You're not any of that. They can fake it and say, yeah, I believe in God. And, they can say this and that. But in reality, if behind closed doors, because that's the key, like a lot of them didn't even like publicize that they were a Freemason until way after, or it was discovered that they were way after. So behind closed doors, if you got these founding fathers and all these people being Freemasons and all this other stuff, it tells you and it paints a picture of what's really going on. Yeah, exactly. Just fighting murder. Oh man, we are like Pac-Man almost killing each other. Why does Tom Cruise still look like he's 40? Yeah. Yeah, you see the Matrix, and you, yeah, that's all it is, man. But once you see things for what they really are, it's easy. It's easy to break away and kind of like separate yourself from everything and just kind of like live. It sucks sometimes to be aware of a lot of the stuff because, again, it creates isolation. But we're called to, are we not called to be set aside? Think about that. If you're a genuine Christian, if you're a believer in Christ, if you're a follower of Christ and the gospel, we are called to be set aside. What deeper version of being set aside is there than to like be naturally isolated from everyone else because you see things for what they are? Let that sink in for a second, because a lot of people will say, oh, you got to be set aside, you got to dress differently, you got to act a certain way so you can be set aside from everyone else, and you got to show them that you really are different. You could do all that and still feel part of everything that's going on. But what's really going to set us aside is opening our eyes to the reality, to the quote unquote matrix that we're living in. Realize, snap out of it, wake up from the matrix, and that naturally will create, without even trying, this natural isolation to where like we can no longer feel comfortable being part of the norm. We no longer feel comfortable being part of regular ongoing society because we see things for what they really are. And that alone creates this like natural organic separation between us and them. So let that sink in. And would blame my life on everybody else. Yeah, when I pulled my head from my butt. Good on you, Rod. Yep. That's exactly right. And it's crazy. When I woke up, like back in, I think it was like 2008, when I woke up for the first time and really saw things for like what they were, the initial pain of knowing that you've been lied to the whole time, it stung a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because it did sting, but you get over it. you kind of like it's a nice wake up call, like a slap in the face, like, hey, you've been lied to, blah blah blah. But you get over it. You shake it off, and you just keep walking, with new knowledge and new wisdom, right? But you keep walking. You don't feel like depressed or spiraling into like this weird like negative feeling and can't get up. No, it's just you get a nice tough love slap in the face. You react. You realize that yeah, and you feel better afterwards. It feels nice. It feels nice to know the truth of things. We can live because of knowledge. Yeah. All right. Let's see if I can't get through some of the stuff before I let you guys go, because I don't want to stay on here for too long. So this one was good. This one was good. I was gonna share this and that, but no. Okay. Boom. Oh, this is a good one. Wait a second. Ugh. Okay, maybe we could watch this one. It all depends how long these videos are. Okay, it's not too bad. 3 minutes is not bad at all.
Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a few movies inspired by real secret societies. But before we begin, I just wanted to remind you guys to subscribe to my second channel, Truth Network. We're currently at 28K subs, and we're so close to hitting our goal of 30K. Once we hit 30K on the second channel, we will be releasing exclusive content only available on the second channel. So if you want to further support the Truth movement, head over to the second channel and subscribe now. You can find the channel tagged in the description of this video or by visiting my channel's page. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. Hollywood is known to hide the truth in plain sight. Most people don't realize that most of the movies they watch are revealing the dark truth about our world. The people who run Hollywood routinely mock the audience with hidden truth without them even knowing. On this channel, we know who runs Hollywood is the same secret society that runs everything else. We know the Masons own Hollywood and all the superstars within it. So it's interesting when big studios put out movies based on real secret societies. These movies hide the truth right in the open, as the audience believe they're just watching a movie, but in reality, what they're being shown isn't so far off. You may ask yourself, why would the Masons expose themselves with their own movies? The thing is, the Masons know most of the audience has no idea about what's truly happening in our world. They live in an illusion created by the elite. So when they reveal these truths in movies, it goes right over their heads, and the Masons are basically mocking them. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at a few movies that were directly or indirectly based on real secret societies that run our world. In each of these films, we can see Hollywood hide the truth in plain sight. I want to warn you guys, spoilers are ahead. The first movie we're going to be talking about is the movie called From Hell. From Hell is a 2001 detective mystery about the Jack the Ripper case. The movie stars Johnny Depp, who plays a detective named Frederick Aberlin, tasked with solving the Jack the Ripper crimes. Depp's character is very troubled, and for whatever reason, he has visions that he uses to solve the cases he is on. The movie takes a turn when Depp, while investigating the cases, discovers a connection between the victims and high society. Realizing what was done to the victims had to be done by the hands of an educated surgeon, he starts to investigate members of high society. Following up on this lead, Depp's character finds himself in the middle of a conspiracy, discovering that the crimes being committed were connected back to the Freemasons that were running London behind the scenes. Depp's character then approaches his superior, alerting him of his discoveries, telling them they should investigate the Freemasons. His superior orders him to leave it alone and move on, but Depp's character refuses, eventually getting thrown off the case. Unknown to Depp's character, his supervisor was also a 33rd degree Freemason, put in place by the Lodge to control the police force. After Depp's character refuses to abandon the case, he discovers that his suspicions were correct. The Freemasons were indeed behind the Jack the Ripper deaths. While the movie was a fiction mystery movie, it still hid plenty of truth in plain sight. Most people don't know that it's long believed that Jack the Ripper was connected to Masonry in some shape or form. The reason for this is because Jack the Ripper left evidence of his alliance on 4 of the 5 victims. The first victim, Mary Ann Nicholas, was discovered at approximately 3:40 a.m. on the 31st of August, 1888. She was found dead, and it appears what was done to her was done in a ritual manner. It is important to note that just 1 hour before she was discovered, she was seen alive. This means that this likely occurred during the hours of 3 a.m., which once again points to it all being a ritual. We have spoken about this in the past. 3 a.m. is considered the devil's hour, or the witching hour, and it is believed that occultists use this time to perform their rituals, and this is what appears to be the case with Jack the Ripper. It is no coincidence she was found at 3:40 a.m., as Jack the Ripper was most likely using this victim for a ritual. The next victim was Annie Chapman, and she was discovered at approximately 6 a.m., very similar to the last victim. The third victim is when it becomes very obvious that this was all connected to Masonry. Catherine Edos was discovered similar to the other 2 victims, but this time she was found with carvings on her face, and these carvings were a pair of compasses that we know points directly to Masonry. She also had a triangle carved above her cheek under her eyes, pointing upwards, which makes the Masonic square and compasses when connected and points to the Masonic all-seeing eye. Jack the Ripper also ripped off the victim's apron and dumped it by a wall. He left a coded Masonic message on. The message read, "The jewels are the men that will not be blamed for nothing." If this isn't more than enough evidence pointing to Jack the Ripper being a Mason, then this should be. It is believed that once the police on the scene noticed the messages left by Jack the Ripper, they called the police commissioner, who ordered the officers to erase the message as it connected the Ripper back to the Masonic order. The message was Masonic terminology that pointed back to the Master Mason ceremony. During these times, most people of power were members of the Masonic order, especially in the police force. In the 1800s, Freemasonry had already completely taken over high society, so anyone who was important was a Mason. It is believed by many that the police were never truly trying to uncover the identity of the Jack the Ripper, but instead protect it. What is obvious is that these deaths were all connected to a member that was a Mason, and this is exactly what we saw in the movie From Hell. The movie From Hell got its title from a letter that is believed to be sent by Jack the Ripper himself. The letter was paired with a half of a human kidney. "Sir, I send you half the kidney I took from one woman, preserved it for you. The other piece I fried and ate it. It was very nice. I may send you the bloody knife that took it out, only if you wait a while longer. Sign, catch me if you can, Mr. Lust."
Catch me
To
outside.
me, this letter once again points to ritual sacrifice.
That's what he
It
was.
clearly
Catch me
shows that
outside.
Jack the Ripper was at minimum
Catch me if you
an
can. Catch me
occultist.
outside.
If we pair this with the Masonic carvings and the time the deaths took place, it's clear that Jack the Ripper was a Freemason occultist who used his victims for ritual practice. In the From Hell movie, Johnny Depp plays a detective who's investigating the Jack the Ripper murders. He quickly discovers that the Masons are behind the deaths and that Jack the Ripper was being protected by the police force. So the Masons attempt to take Johnny Depp's character out by sending assassins after him. In the movie, Sir William Gould is Jack the Ripper, and by the end of the movie, the Freemasons lobotomize William in order to ensure he never reveals himself as the Ripper. The movie clearly paints the Masons as the one responsible for the Jack the Ripper crimes, and it shows how they kept it all a secret. In the real-life story of Jack the Ripper, evidence was found connecting the deaths to the Masons, and it's also believed that the police were trying to keep the whole situation a secret. What's interesting is that Aleister Crowley even claimed to know the real Jack the Ripper. Crowley claimed that Jack the Ripper was actually a woman named Helena Blavatsky, and he stated that she did these crimes for rituals to gain occultic power. Helena was known as an author, a medium, and a cultist, and I found it interesting that Crowley would claim she did it. This to me just further proves that these deaths were all done for occult reason. In the movie, we can also see them show a loosely based Masonic Master Mason ritual. If you saw my last video on the 32nd degree Mason revealing the secrets of the craft, then you already saw parts of the Master Mason ritual, and it's pretty close to the movie's representation. We heard very similar terminology to the actual rituals we saw the Mason demonstrating.
Never to reveal our secrets, under no less a penalty than my throat, my tongue be torn out by its root, and that I be buried in sand, a cable's length from shore.
Let the brother receive the light.
As well said.
As you heard for yourself, in the movie they refer to the same terminology of bringing the new member into the light. They also show the member blindfolded taking the Masonic oath. I Believe From Hell is a perfect example of a movie hiding the truth in plain sight. The Masons mocked the audience by telling them exactly who was behind the mystery of Jack the Ripper, while it goes right over the audience's head. The next movie we're going to be talking about is the 1999 movie Eyes Wide Shut. The movie Eyes Wide Shut is just as revealing as the movie From Hell. Just how that movie revealed the hidden truth about Jack the Ripper, Eyes Wide Shut reveals what goes on in the private elite balls and parties. Eyes Wide
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local
Wide Shut starred Tom Cruise and was actually directed by Stanley Kubrick, being his last movie before
The same guy who helped fake the NASA landings.
he passed. Many people believe, including myself, that Stanley was taken out for making this movie, as he was exposing way too much of what the elite did in their private parties. As a result of this, it is believed that parts of the movies were changed after Stanley's passing in order to hide some of the things he was revealing. The movie is about a rich doctor played by Tom Cruise who ends up sneaking in a secret cult ritual party being held in a New York mansion. When he arrives, the first thing he sees is a giant sex ritual taking place. The ritual scene shows a man wearing a mask and an all-red cloak holding a staff walking in circles while chanting. He is surrounded by women wearing all black.
Now, I mean, it goes on, but y'all get the point. Y'all get the idea behind all that. And the thing is that a lot of people would be like, don't you think, like, you know, if it were true, they would have been found out by now? No, man. Like, people are so naive. Like, if these people are also protected, which they are, by the police, by the legal authorities, by the government, etc., these people are all protected. This brotherhood reaches far beyond what we comprehend. So no, they're not gonna get caught and exposed, especially not that easily. No, like when you have a brotherhood that's as large as the government and all these other agencies, do you not think that they're always going to be a step ahead? Is that too hard to think and accept? Is it really that hard to accept and admit? Is it really? Like, I don't know, man. All I do know is, you know, we are in the end times, and every day that passes, it just becomes that more apparent that we need to start genuinely seeking a close, intimate relationship with our Heavenly Father. And I really mean that. If you're watching this right now in the live chat, or if you watch this afterwards, whenever you watch it, the bigger takeaway of all of this is make sure your name is written in that book of life. That's the main takeaway out of all of this, out of any video we ever make, out of any live stream that we ever make on here. The main takeaway will always be, make sure you're aligned with God. Make sure that you're getting to know your Creator. Make sure that you're trying to build a strong, genuine relationship with our Heavenly Father and Creator, because it's like people want to go to heaven, but they forget that heaven is not just a place, but it's a home. And in the real life, like day-to-day life, if I'm a homeowner, right? Let's say I'm a billionaire and I have a mansion, and you walk up to my mansion and I'm standing at the gate receiving whoever wants to come in for, like, let's say I'm having a party, and I'm at the gate waiting for people to like get to the gate so I can receive them into the party. And you show up at the gate and you get there and you stand in front of me and you spit at me, you slap me, you hit me, you mock me, you make fun of me, and then ask if you can go into my mansion. What do you think I'm gonna tell you? Like, what do you think I'm gonna do? You think I'm just gonna, oh yeah, go right in? You think I'm really gonna be like okay with you doing everything you just did to my face, and I'm just gonna like grant you access to my party in my mansion? People forget, like, God is a loving God, but he respects our decisions. So if you spit at him, you mock him, you make fun of him, you do this and that, um, just know that you're doing it and God's saying that's cool. Do everything that you're doing. Hey, I respect it. I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to, retaliate or whatever. You're just not allowed in my house. You're not allowed to the party. You're not invited to what's going on back there. If by you showing me what you're doing, you're telling me that you don't want any part of this. So since you don't want any part of this, you can leave, but you can't go back to the party. You can't go into my house. You can't go to my mansion. Bryden, what's going on, man? Blessings and love to you, sir. I appreciate you dropping in. I am starting to close things out, though. I will say that. We'll try to finish more of videos that were sent to me by someone impersonating Dead Twist on Instagram another day. But I do appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot to me. Bryden, if you're here, make sure you hit the like button on the stream. I'll appreciate it. But before I leave, please, 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 please keep in mind the event this coming Friday at around 8 or 8:30 p.m., both here on YouTube and TikTok. I will be conducting another game show. I will be giving out actual cash prizes for those participants who get questions right. I will have the rules and regulations and guidelines to the game show set up and ready to go on the night of. But I need your help, guys. I need you guys to spread the word. Let your peoples know, like, hey, this guy is hosting a game show. Very simple, basic, fundamental Bible questions. Yeah, definitely better read your Bibles for sure. And let people know. Let people know that I will be giving out actual, because the thing is, I'm gonna have everyone who wants to participate to have their Cash App or PayPal tags ready to go alongside their username. That way, whenever you guys get an answer right, I send you the cash right there and then through Cash App or PayPal, or whatever you guys like, feel best. So please spread the word, guys. Help me spread the word. I'm going to try to do my part and like promote it on Instagram and YouTube and everything else. But I really do need you guys' help to spread the word and help promote it. That way we can potentially build up the channel a little more and have more interaction from new people. So I'll appreciate it. Flat thumbs in the tank. That's funny. But yeah, just please help me out with that. That's the only thing I'm gonna ask for. It's just help promoting that whole game show situation. Hopefully we have a lot of new people coming to the channel, subscribing, and being part of the community. And yeah, that'll be awesome. If you guys can help me out with that, I'll appreciate it. That being said, I will let you guys go. Thanks to every single one of you guys who were here. Rod, That's William, Bryden, Emily. Who else was here? I feel like someone else was here. I can't tell who it was. I know Terrence. Terrence was the other person who was here. Yeah. So I thank every single one of you guys. I appreciate the love and support you always show me. But I will let y'all go. That would be good if you could get this one going. Like, yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal. So anyways, love you guys. God bless every single one of you. Stay safe and blessed. Bryden has a premiere in a few minutes. So if you could help him out with the view and the like on that premiere, I'll appreciate it because I know he'll appreciate it. So give him some love and support as the same way you guys show me love and support. This is a give and take, you know. We all got to help each other out and support each other. Matter of fact, I will set up my channel on this side on my phone to make sure I don't miss that premiere myself. Just want to make sure. Okay, I have it on my channel now. Okay, so that's good to go. But yeah, in about an hour. Okay, perfect. So anyways, you guys stay blessed and safe out there. Until next time, as always, JDQ with Vision IBTV.